He's a giant in medicine, a giant in teaching, a giant in research.
He made it a unique school. It was a treasure to be part of that era in medical education at Brown.
And a man so multiply skilled and yet so humble to make you feel good about yourself and about the job you were doing as we were all struggling to get this new medical school started.
He is just endlessly interesting and exciting to spend time with. And that he was our founding dean is a crowning achievement for Brown.
Oh my goodness. Good to see you again.
You're looking good.
He was not only our first dean and a teacher and a superb teacher and a wonderful researcher and a role model, but Dr. Aronson was really a father figure in many respects. You had problems, you brought them to Dr. Aronson. You had happy occasions, you brought them to Dr. Aronson.
And I can always think of him as pipe in hand, thinking carefully, thoughtfully, considerately about patient problems, but also about his students and trainees.
I'd go over to Stan's office and I'd say, Stan, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with that? With incredible wisdom and laced with wonderful humor and good judgment, Stan would gently guide me through innumerable problems.
Good to see you. Yeah, you're going to be well too.
I always left Stan's office feeling better than when I went in.
I'd like to mention is Arthur Robbins. Arthur, standing right here. Arthur called me, it was about a year and a half ago, and we spoke a lot on the phone, but there was one important message that Arthur gave to me, that Arthur opened my eyes to, and that's the importance of honoring the work of Stanley Aronson. Every day in his work lived up to the ideals of the Brown Charter of living lives of usefulness and reputation.
When I was a medical student at Penn, I learned about people like Jonathan Rhodes and Isidore Ravden and all the great new things that were coming about at that institution. I thought that it wasn't going to get any better than that. Then I went off to Yale and I learned about Paul Beeson, and I learned about Phil Bondi, and I learned about Sam Thier. But now that I'm here at Brown, I've learned about a whole series of new giants. And I can say that from this vantage point, not one of the people that I've interacted with up to this point can hold a candle to Stanley Aronson.
He is the most erudite human being I've ever met. He knows more about more things than most experts know about their narrow field of expertise. It's just true. Spending an hour on a Saturday afternoon chatting with Stan, you come away learning more than in your freshman year in college.
And I think if I had to go back and to think about what single person was most influential in showing me that this was a noble and a worthwhile and an enjoyable way to spend one's career, I would say it would be you, Stan. And so I do want to thank you on a personal level, and as a member of the corporation of Brown University, I want to thank you for providing the wisdom and the strength of character and the profound leadership by example that gave the university the courage to take what was a 2-year program in medicine and to move to higher levels.
I can't get through this talk without mentioning the tree. How many of you know about the tree? Raise your hand. This is amazing. The Aronson tree, we're going to call it the Aronson tree. Many years ago, when he was the dean, a number of U.S. medical schools were given seedlings of a tree that was growing in Greece, itself purportedly a descendant of the original plane tree under which Hippocrates taught. Dr. Aronson took the seedling, carefully nurtured it, and then when it was ready, he had it planted in the lawn outside 90 Waterbury. The tree flourished and has grown into a healthy adult that itself is producing seeds and seedlings every year.
Tomorrow we're going to graduate the 40th class from this medical school. Not one of these classes could have been graduated without you, and every year, forever, another class, which is part of your legacy, will graduate from this medical school.
But also it's important for the university. I felt to take this moment to honor Dr. Aronson, to create the Dean Stanley M. Aronson Fund for Research and Innovation. It's an endowed fund at the university, and I hope that it will just do extraordinary things.
I am uncharacteristically speechless. Those, and I see at least 3 or 4 from the class of 1975, the B-13 survivors, pioneers, and I hope that you will join me specifically to thank the Chancellor and our Dean for assembling this fund, which will be a fund to enrich the future in terms of research, the future in terms of bringing more teachers to the faculty, of sponsoring various projects that would bring something better to the environment of Rhode Island. What our graduates have done is an amazing thing. A few thousand of them now, and all of us should sleep peacefully tonight because they have outdone whatever we have done, and they have brought comfort and security to many thousands of their patients. Thank you all. Thank you, my family, and particularly to Gail. Thank you all.